What's up, everybody? It's your host, Aaron Provost, back for yet another edition of This Week in Gaming? Question
Woo!
mark? This week I'm joined by
Woo!
the one and only Stevie V. Stevie V, how you been? How you doing? How's things? What you been playing?
What's going on, man? I am good. I have been good, and I think I'm going to keep doing good. I have been playing the usual. We've been doing the Tarkies. Kind of playing a little bit of Total War Warhammer 2, getting amped up because Warhammer 3 comes out for that in a couple of weeks here. So anybody that checks out the channel or is familiar with mine or Cam 11 Bravo's channel, those are pretty good staples in our gaming cycle. So we're gearing up for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Gonna actually start playing through. It's a little unorthodox, but we're actually going to start playing through the first Dying Light game with our squad of four, and kind of lead into doing Dying Light 2 because one of our buddies hasn't played the first Dying Light, so we'll be playing that and sprinkling Tarkov over the top of that,
Just a
throughout.
sprinkle of Tarkov over top.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
so
kind of been on that same Tarkov train as always. With the little bit of free time that I do find
mhm,
to
yeah,
get some raids in.
uh
I have to admit that I'm getting back to where I was originally with Tarkov, where it has me for the first 15 levels, and then I'm just done. I'm just getting to that point where I got the flea market. I think I might be done. I think I might have done my cap. The flea market is my kappa. It's as far as I feel like getting, and there's nothing in the game that keeps me going. So I'm kind of just waiting to see what they bring to the table next. Uh, but we'll see. It's Tarkov. You
that's
never
amazing.
know
That's amazing.
what they're gonna throw at the game and bring back. So we'll see with the events and see what actually interests me moving forward. But I think it might be time to switch it up. Um, I mean, on that note, there are some good things coming down the pipeline. We finally got news that the Cycle is has their open beta happening at long
Yeah,
last. I've been waiting on that one.
I am
Um,
beyond excited for that.
I exactly like we've talked about it many times, and we'll continue to talk about it many times in the future. I don't think that's going to go away.
No.
Um, and it starts March 10th, and it'll run till March 28th. So it seems like it's a bigger closed beta this time around. I highly suggest anybody that hasn't already checked out the Cycle Frontier, go to the Call for Fire Discord. Make sure you hit the links that we've dropped down in there and go sign up for that closed beta, because we had an absolute blast every single time we played it. And I don't know if Stevie's got some of the VOD on his channel or not, but it's definitely
Should.
worthwhile to go check out what this game actually is. It's like Tarkov Arcade, but with
Mhm.
all of the benefits and fun, and none of the really pain in the ass parts of Tarkov.
It's kind of like a cool blend of like Apex meets Tarkov, like not the hyper graphics, not like the crazy graphics, but very much like a Borderlands Apex style type graphic set. But the overall vibe and mechanic is the same as that of a raid game. Go in, loot, have a persistent stash. There's persistent maps going on to where you can jump in, and actually their timer's a lot different. It's not the same as Tarkov is. It's all like the same instance, so you're just constantly seeing people cycle in and out of the same map,
Yeah,
which is
and
kind of rad.
it's such an interesting way to take the drop in mentality. Is like you can drop in, but other people might have already been in that map for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. They've
Yep.
already looted and scooted, and they're on their way out. So there's a lot
Yeah.
of opportunities for different types of emergent gameplay to happen in that,
Mm,
where it's not a competitive start game like Tarkov is, and getting stuck in like, oh, I know where that spawn is. I know that there's going to be somebody over there.
mhm.
Where the Cycle does something similar, where they kind of show that there's a new person coming in with the drop pods coming down. That there's something fun about that as well, where you can be like, oh, somebody dropped in, let's go hunt. That's a different style of PvP than Tarkov, where it's like I know where all the spawns are, I know where they're expected to be, but
And they did have VoIP before Tarkov did too.
They had VoIP before Tarkov. They basically forced Tarkov's hand. So there's something to be said for what is being innovated in the cycle and what they're gonna push forward in.
For raid gaming as a whole, because it's like definitely you're starting to see like how these things are, before it was you're seeing how Tarkov started to flow over into other games and to other like, you know, titles and IPs, and now, the cycle is doing things that are the cycle has kind of laid the groundwork to say, hey, we're not escaping Tarkov, but Tarkov is fun, and if you want to do something like it, check this shit out, and
Yeah,
then go
and we're
from
here
there.
to innovate and iterate based on what they've done. I want to say thank you to Staff Sergeant Miss Stinkin. I can't Miss Stinkin, Miss Stinky, Stinky. We'll get it. We'll get it. Thank you for the follow.
You,
Appreciate you.
you.
I do appreciate you coming out and give the follow. Let's go ahead and take a quick beat and talk about our sponsor. Do, 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 do. It's shopcallforfire.com. If you haven't
Dot
already figured that out,
com.
we are owned and operated by the Call for Fire family. I am Aaron, your host. I am also the designer. I am also the meme maker. We have a lot of fun making the shirts. We do appreciate all of the support that we've gotten from the community, and we continue to try and push out as much fun stuff as we can while also giving you something cool to wear. We appreciate you. Make sure you guys head over to shopcallfire.com, pick yourself up something nice along the way. Uh, Stevie, so tonight's topic, we're going to talk about the good old guilty pleasure games. What do I mean by guilty pleasure games? I mean games that most of the time, if you brought it up in normal conversation with other gamer friends, you're gonna get kind of made fun of. They're gonna talk a little bit of crap about what you're spending your time playing,
Yep.
and that is something
But
that,
you don't care.
yeah,
But you don't care.
in your heart of hearts, you're like, yeah, but I have fun with it, so I don't really give a damn. So I'm not gonna change what I'm doing because it's a fun
Absolutely.
game and I have fun playing it, even though it's just ridiculed by the gaming masses as a whole. Um, these are your Fortnites for grown human beings. These are your this is your Angry Birds on your phone. These are the games that like you
You're
just like
bejeweled.
just terrible, not really doing much for you. They just give you that little bit of just endorphin rush that you just need in life, and they're just fun, and or it's a game that is just absolutely just crap, like just unabashedly just garbage by most standards set in gaming at this point.
Yeah.
And that I think is something worth exploring, and I welcome the audience out there to throw your guilty pleasure games at us as we go, so we can
Let us know.
see what garbage you're out there playing. I want to know what crap that you like to play.
Your trash is our trash. It's a safe space.
It's a
You can
safe space. Your trash is our treasure to make fun of.
share. You took it from me.
So
Damn
to
it.
to just get us started, I would like to approach the floor and offer up one of probably the biggest pieces of trash that I've had the pleasure of playing, but it hit at such an important time for what I was looking to play, and I want to welcome our friend Jimmy Cribb to the call. He is
My
also
goodness.
coming in for the trash talk of trash.
Wow.
Uh,
When did this become Ellen? Just popping in and
I
out.
know they just pop in, they pop out, they pop back in. It's whatever. It's a free show. We're gonna just roll with it. I I I offer up to the community at large, to the viewing uh, masses that we have at the moment.
I'm gonna
I
check
would
for you
like to
too. One
say
sec.
that Anthem, that wonderfully terrible Anthem, is just one of the games that's going to be stuck in my head for a long time to come. It is
I'm
not
sorry.
good. It is not by any measure a good game, and no one thinks that it is, but it is one of those games that just is stuck in my dumb idiot brain, and I just love it. It was such a weirdly important game when it hit when it did, because it was like my kid had just been born. I was like working remote, stuck in a house, just fucking spending a little bit of time playing here and there when I could. But it was like it had so much promise, right? Like this game had so much promise to it, and I
Oh,
just
and so
was
much
not
hype.
ready for it to fail as miserably as it did,
It
honestly.
de- EA definitely EA definitely put all of their eggs in this basket that was Anthem, and they were like, "Hey, we're doing it. This is it. We're getting it." And oh man, how bad that fell, man. Was that the dude? Oh, I can't remember the actor's name, but he looks super familiar, man. His name will come to me. I can't remember it. He played one of the angels in that in Legion with Paul
Yeah,
Bettany. I can't remember the actor's name, but I swear I just saw him in the trailer just now. Did they have a lot of like high caliber like actors for the game?
I don't remember if they had any high caliber actors because they weren't really mentioned. There was no like hype about them, but there
I
was
don't
definitely a
think they
lot
did.
of voice acting happening in the game. It wasn't particularly well acted. It wasn't well presented in any way. The story wasn't well presented. There was like weird cutscenes that you had to sit through. They just
That
like
It
were
was completely
forced.
detached.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
god.
such a
So you
weirdly.
you
Wait.
you had such a weird area of the game. Like you had the part of the game that you enjoyed, and then they're like, oh yeah, and there's a story that for some reason now you're in first person mode and you can only
Yeah,
walk, and it's
Wait a
like it made no sense. It was completely jarring. Like what is this? What are we doing here?
the
Why does
dude
this
that
exist?
none of it made sense. The back home in base version of the game was just such a weird thing to do, and
well
then takes you out of all of the thing that was fun about the game, which was just the combat. The combat, like the actual like mechanics of being in the map and running around and going and killing stuff and doing the thing. That part was great. It wasn't well explained. Like I didn't know about the primers and the explosions until well after I had already beaten the game, and I did that
Yeah,
by
yeah.
using just a rifle on my main javelin. I had
And
no
you're like,
idea
wait, I'm
about
supposed
how
to
to
be
actually.
combining
Yeah,
things?
so you like
Yeah.
no idea about the combo system. I had no idea about any of that. So I like just like plinked my way through the entire game. And then I found out about, oh yeah, you can actually like combo stuff and like do massive amounts of damage and just clear the map. No
Yeah,
fucking
combo things
idea
with your
about any
buddies.
of that. And
Total mess.
it was such a like yeah, so like you see like these like first person view like talking to other characters, and it was like a weirdly kind of half-ass story put together and like not really very impactful in any way, but like you get in there and you like do these maps the maps and like fight these enemies, and yeah, there's a little bit of like these guys all kind of fight the same, or some of them, like these, like bigger ones, the Furies and stuff, were actually kind of a pain in the ass. And like, if you didn't know how to fight them, you were gonna get your ass kicked, and that was it. Like, you had to learn how to fight enemies. They did a
no
good job of mixing them up, but it was like, yeah, but then once you fought them, you know how to fight them. It was okay. Now there's like two of them, right? Like now there's three of them. Now you got to fight three of them, and that's about as far as like the depth of enemies really went, except for
Mhm.
like a couple like the bosses that were kind of neat, but they just didn't have the end game. That's where they lost everybody. That people would play through this game and then get to the end game, and it was one dungeon that you just had to run over and over and over and over again, and that was it. There was nothing else. There was free roam.
Oh, that's
There was
that's
free roam, and that was it. You either ran around the map looking for weird random crap, or you went and fought this one dungeon over and over and over again, and they didn't release a new one for months. Absolutely
okay.
shattered the hope and dream that could have been this game, because they just didn't think about what happens after it's already made, like everybody's done. What happens then? What are we doing with the end game? They had no idea.
If you read the Jason Schreier piece, they talked about how they essentially didn't start making the game until about a year and a half before it came out. Like
What?
during, yeah, let's like go back and read. There's a Jason Schreier wrote a really good piece on it. If you go back and read, so the big reveal that they had at E3, you remember the one that blew everyone's mind? Like this is
It was
amazing.
fake. It was fake.
None of that had been made.
It was all
Like
fake.
that was some shit they threw together for E3, and it
Yeah.
wasn't until they saw that the developers who were making the game back at E3 were like, "Oh, is that what we're supposed to make? Wow, we should get on that." Like,
Yeah. It was a fake
and
trailer. The worst of all of it.
completely made up.
Yep.
And so essentially the only part of it, and it was
The
part of it was
biggest
because they
grift in
brought in,
gaming.
oh yeah, they brought in the head of EA like once or twice, and he hated the game. The only thing he liked about it was the flying mechanic. So they were just like, all right, we got to put that back in. So they went back and forth between having flying or any of the other crap. But eventually, when he came in, like, I like the flying, they're like, put it in there. And so
What the
it was,
hell?
Just get it in
it
there
was,
quick.
Just shove
yeah,
it up in
it
there.
was,
Come on, go, go, go.
It's
yeah.
so
So it
bad.
was the entire development cycle of that game was a horrible mess.
Yeah. That I okay.
Big
I
pain.
so I didn't know any. That is the most Rick sounding thing ever. Oh, we gotta make a game, Morty. We gotta make this game here. We gotta. That's the only thing I'm hearing in my brain is that it. That I didn't know any of that. So my experience with Anthem, I never played it. I was super hyped for it, and I think Mass Effect was Andromeda. Mass Effect Andromeda was something I was looking forward to, and I didn't really put a lot of effort into wanting. I can't. Something was out during the same time that Anthem was out that I didn't put a lot of time into, so I didn't
It
get to
could have
check it
been.
out.
It could have been anything. Could have been Destiny. Could have been any of the other games that look
Might
exactly like this,
might
play like
might have
this.
been, but something was right in that same time slot, and I wasn't able to play Anthem around the time that I wanted to.
When did
But
was it
then I
Red Dead?
started. Oh,
No, I don't
I
think it was
can't.
Red Dead. Red
I
Dead, I
couldn't.
think, came out later that
I
year.
gun to my head. I couldn't remember. So moving on. I couldn't remember, but I started hearing about the reviews and everything that was going on with it, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm really glad that I'm really glad I missed out on that one."
Yep.
Damn. Okay. I guess I'm not missing much on this. And then, like, more and more pain just came out from it. Flash gets, they made fun of it that the EA executives were like, it was just, it was 100%. It was all Flash, no nothing. It was just, oh, here's a jetpack, and
Yep.
here's a suit, and oh man, here's
But
visual. But there was nothing. There was nothing that really grabbed your average consumer past what was on. Well, nothing past the paint and the bells and whistles.
but here's the
That was
thing.
it.
Here's the thing about all of that. Those bells and whistles, the paint, the customization, all the crazy shit about like the look and everything was so well done. The customization on this game is second to none on most of the stuff that I've played when it comes to textures, color, uh, patterning, all that shit. It's so well done on being able to customize your character to play how you want it to play based on a class set that is actually all very different and play very different. And then being able to use weapons that felt different, felt impactful, felt like you were actually in the fight with something that was like up your alley, or like changing it so that like you did elemental damage like you're seeing here, like playing the game the way that you wanted to play it, because they did a great job with the paint. Like that the the exterior of this game was really good. I had a lot of fun with it. I still would love to see somebody take what they built here and make it into a game, because what we got was like a demo.
I want to see what they did with this game and make it into a game. Like that.
That's exactly what I want them to do. I want them to take this. I want them to lift all of the good out of it, because there was a lot of good when it came to how these things flew, how you ran around the map when you were doing the free roams, all of the like random encounters that you could get into when you were out in the world. There was a lot of really fun stuff that you could do. It just wasn't made as a comprehensive and coherent piece of gaming. Like it just didn't get there because they didn't have the time and they didn't put the time in. Like it was just like here's good enough to get to market, but then
Yeah.
they screwed the landing because they didn't have anything else to go with. They didn't have anything else going for it after it got done.
Yeah.
So they got to
Painful.
market. They had a game that was fun and it played well, but what else was there to it? Nothing. There was literally nothing else there for you to do.
It
So
was pain. That's what there was. It was
I
pain.
still love this game. I still want it to do well. Then they killed it. They just killed it.
They
They
killed they
decided
killed
to
the
just
second or third time.
yeah, they went to go remake it. They were already talking about it. The developer was in the progress of like reworking all the pieces to it, and then EA is like, "No, let's just cut our losses on this one, boys and girls." And I am afraid that like that's kind of what they've been doing to a lot of games that I was kind of playing in the last 3 or 4 years. Essentially, is like they'll make a game, it won't get the reviews that they hope it does, and then they're like, you know what, let's just kill it. And then I'm like sitting there like, I bought this game like 6 months ago, a year ago, and now you're gonna kill it. Appreciate that, thanks guys.
I haven't done that to Tarkov.
They can't do that to Tarkov
It's because Tarkov makes money.
but then I quit Tarkov when I get level 15 every time, so I guess that's also part of playing Tarkov.
You're a very selfless lover, aren't you?
I am. I just I get
Selfish.
mine. I get mine. Um,
Selfless is the opposite of the term you were looking for.
Not
so
me. Not me.
I could go on about how fun
With that
these
beard, I don't
pieces
doubt it.
were, and like all of the nonsense of being in this world, and like getting to fly around in a friggin' mech suit. Like that was something else. But I want to move on to making fun of somebody else's choices.
Yeah.
I want to find out what Stevie's garbage he likes to
Oh
play is.
my
I
garbage.
want to know more about Stevie's trash. Stevie, tell me about the
So
trash that you like.
my trash is a little more. I have fancy garbage. Okay, I'm a Chicagoan.
Ooh.
Our trash is no.
Hold on, we
Uh,
got a badass over here.
my trash is a little more fancy. Mine is a little more basic of a choice. Just for the fact that I feel like in certain circles of nerddom, when you say this title, a lot of people's eyes twitch. But for mine, it is one that I definitely enjoy the hell out of. Even though if I say it to guys like Cam 11 Bravo, or if I say it to guys, like Aaron, you can see that twitch, and that is PUBG.
Hmm.
There it is. There it is. All right, I'm out of here,
Dun,
guys.
dun,
Thanks a
dun,
lot.
dun.
Thanks for having me, everybody. Appreciate you. There's the face I was looking for.
Love it.
So PUBG was the first. That was the first game that I played and really got into on PC, and it was a game that made me want to get into PC because I didn't know that I didn't know what battle royale was, but I did like multiplayer games. I did like PvP. I did like some realistic shooters. And for me, when I jumped into PUBG, it did blend some PvP, some realistic gunplay. Like you're actually using the mil dots on your optics and you were combining things. And I was like, this is kind of cool. It's not exactly what I feel like this game could be, but it is. This is pretty fun, and like the first time that I it was the original getting your dubs, the original, chicken dinner, and like the first time that you like won one of those games, it was exhilarating. You were like, holy shit! Like there was 100 people. We're alive. We did this. Like, oh my god, this is incredible, and I was hooked on it. I was hooked on it, and I kept playing it. And then, like, I built my PC, and I kept playing it on my PC. And so many people that I knew were like, "Yeah, dude, this game is dumb." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's like it's still cool though. I mean, because if you die, that's it. So it makes you play a little bit better." But then again, I was talking to people that were playing Call of Duty, where they would play, before Call of Duty even uttered the mention of battle royales happening in their franchise. People were playing like your standard multiplayers of Call of Duty, respawn or reload around, and people were just used to that fast paced gameplay of just boom, 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 boom. Whereas I really enjoyed that risk reward of You know, if you're dead, you're out. You suck. Reload. Get back with your squad or get back into another game and just get kicked right in the groin again. And you just keep doing it because that's why, you do it because you hate yourself enough to just keep wanting to play stuff. Which, unbeknownst to me at that time, I was going to be introduced shortly thereafter to a game called Escape from Tarkov, which really, really, really scratches that itch of hating myself enough to just exist at a level that I didn't know was possible. And that was right in that good zone of I love my life versus I wish I just would have stayed in bed. And for me, PUBG and Tarkov, they're right in there, but PUBG is definitely at the bottom of that list for, like my trash. And then, Tarkov is, that's fancy garbage for me as to some of the other people around here. So that's my fancy garbage. But PUBG is definitely one I still play from time to time. Like I'm just like, you know what? I'm just sitting here. Nobody's online. I don't feel like raiding. I don't feel like doing a scav run. I don't feel like chasing the task down or doing whatever. I'll just jump into PUBG, solo squad, and just go have at it and do my thing. Sometimes I do pretty well. There's definitely a lot of real sweaty, cheesy people that play PUBG. I'm very glad that I can hang with them, but I feel like if I was better than them, I feel dirty. And I'm glad that I'm glad my prowess is elsewhere. But I definitely still enjoy popping into PUBG every now and then, and just just diving into it and messing around with it. But I think that that'll be one that I will always come back to at one time or another, and just enjoy myself, hate myself, rinse, repeat, reuse. Um, and just despise all at the same time because I know it's trash and I know it sucks and I know it's a pain and I know it's so cheesy every time you play that fucking game, but it's still, you know, everybody, nobody enjoys it, but you enjoy it. That's your guilty pleasure. That's the whole point. I enjoy that.
It's I mean my main reason for not wanting to play any PUBG is that it's a battle royale
Mm-hmm.
game, right? Like that was it. Like I played maybe 2 rounds of this when I was working at Task and Purpose. We did a Twitch night and I jumped in after being
Oh,
jet
relentless.
lagged as all hell. Not even jet lagged. I was just tired from traveling all damn day, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna do Twitch tonight." I was like, "Fucking great! I'm gonna be tired as shit all night." Got it. So I jumped in and like the camera's all fucked and like I look like garbage because I've just been traveling and like my face is all messed up. And so I jump in. I'm like, okay, what is this? How do you control it? And then like I died, and I was like, that's it. That's the game. I'm dead. And that was basically it for me. I was like, oh, okay, fuck this game. I don't need to play this anymore. I'm gonna go sit on the couch and get drunk. So that's what I did. And I have had a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to BRs the whole time that they've existed. But I understand where you're at with this. It's like, yeah, it's just a fun jump in and jump out. It's like the first one. It's like the one that made it like a thing. So I kind of get it. I kind of get it, especially now that it's like there's a free to play version. Like I can kind of understand that you would want to keep
Yeah,
messing with that. But
it's Pub PUBG Battlegrounds,
yeah,
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds. I
Battlegrounds.
yeah So that's actually I think what we're watching right now is the new one, um like IGN's
The
review,
the free one, right?
the free
Oh,
one,
and I
The
want to see if the frames actually run that well. And
the
anytime I
free
ever
to
played
play.
PUBG, it ran like the game ran a solid like 30 frames.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, that makes it a lot easier to get your frags on. Yeah, I don't really. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make fun of you forever if I see you playing this, but I totally get it. Like it makes sense. It's just the first one, right? Like it's the first one that kind of hooked you. I get that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like 5 years from now when everybody's moved on from Tarkov and like we're like, yeah, but like we kind of want to still play a Tarkov once in a while. Like we still gotta.
I
We
will
s-
never I will never put Tarkov down. I have just accepted that I have found ways to entertain myself in Tarkov that I will never put it down. I will keep going on it, and like it'll definitely be one that'll always like be there. That's my fancy garbage, guys. I already said it,
it's your
like
fancy
that's
garbage.
that's the garbage when you go to smush the garbage down in the can. That's the one you put your hand around and let that sit at the top right there because you're like, you know what, you can hang out.
You
Everything
can
else,
sit at the top. I'll
every
eat an eclair
everything
off
else,
of you, buddy. I'll eat a
Everything
declare
else
off of
just
that trash.
straight down.
That's a
It's
Seinfeld
stacked.
reference for everybody listening. That's a Seinfeld reference.
Because we're fancy. All right.
Yeah. So with that just terrible choice in game, I think I would like to hear what Jimmy has to say when it comes to what his trash would be.
Okay. I'm in a unique place here. So what are we defining as what our guilty pleasure game? Like what does this entail? I need
So
very
so
clear
at the top we talked
definitions.
about it can be just absolute like just shit on by critics, just everybody hates this game, or it can be just something that like you're kind of going to get made fun of if you play it, like you're a grown man playing My Little Pony Adventures.
You're not supposed to do that.
Oh, I far be it from me to talk shit on anybody playing My Little Pony Adventure games. I actually just started the series with my daughter, so we will see if I become a full blown brony after this. I'm not exactly certain what's going to happen. I don't know what this is going to awaken in me as a person. Um, but if you have a game that is like just not good or is kind of not something that you would expect someone to be playing,
Yeah,
that's
I'm in
the
a
guilty
unique position
pleasures.
here. Okay. My guilty pleasure game. You ready for this? I'm kind of screwed on this one. It's World of Tanks.
All right, guys. Good night, everybody.
because it's
Oh,
because it's
Good night,
not one that
everybody.
people expect you to play, and it's been funny because I've come so far in that game that I end up like I now work with the company as a community contributor, and it's
Ooh,
like when I tell people like, oh yeah,
boo.
I'm a
Boo,
streamer,
Jimmy.
and they're like, oh, what do you
Boo.
stream?
Boo.
And I'm like, oh, World of Tanks, and they kind of look at me like,
Boo.
you're not 45 or 50, like
what?
you're not in your senior years,
What?
like you immediately see the look on their face like, oh yeah, yeah, cool, all right, I gotta go over here now.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Like it's just
stop. I'm gonna stop talking to you now. I'm gonna move over here real fast. Yeah,
yeah, like
that's
there are no questions about World of Tanks. People are
Mm,
just like, yeah, it's tanks, cool,
mhm.
yeah, man,
all right.
high
Cool.
five,
Tanks shooting
yeah,
at each other. Okay, buddy.
Oh,
and it's
that's fucking funny right there, dude. But I love that he just made his money. So for me, my guilty pleasure game is World of Tanks. Off camera, he's got his phone, Snapchatting himself. Like I said it right. I said
I
it on
said
the
it,
show.
boys. I said it.
You
I
guys,
said it,
I get
boys.
I get paid now, right? I said it on the thing.
yeah,
I said it.
like Buck Chase said it. I hate World of Tanks, yet I play it every day. I hate World of Tanks, yet I play it at least twice a week. And like it blew my mind. I actually played it last week off stream, and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with me?" And it was, it's like, it's one of those games. Like you will have the absolute worst time playing World of Tanks. You will hate every round you go into. You will get your ass kicked constantly, and then at the end, you'll make like that one shot. You're like, "Yeah, that was good. Let's go some more." And then you go for like another 10 rounds of just getting your ass kicked. And it's just terrible. Like
Sounds like
Yeah.
dating in your 30s. I don't want to play that. I play video games to escape reality. I don't. What?
but it's one of those things. Like my platoon sergeant got me into
God.
playing it when we were overseas one year. Oh, yes.
No,
Yes.
let him know. Hey, the check just
Yep.
cleared. We
Yeah.
got the
The
pay.
check
We got the
cleared.
PayPal.
Yeah.
They're watching. We got the PayPal alert. You're getting paid for
They
for
paid
plugging them.
us. They paid
They got it.
Well, what's
us.
funny
The
is
payment happened. We're good.
talking to the community team, even they get it. They understand. They're real people. But it's just like I have there's other community contributors that just play it nonstop, and I'm like, how? Like I would be breaking things. And it's like occasionally like I'll play it with my friends. It's like most of the time it's just it's World of Tanks, and like new players are like, "Hey man, should I play World of Tanks?" And I'm like, most of the time I say no. Like, it's like, what are you into? They're like, "Oh, I just want to have a good time and
That
relax and drive
his
some tanks." And I was like,
his phone just buzzed again. They totally reported and pulled that payment back.
Yeah.
it's
Fuck.
I mean,
so
in a
it's
lot of ways, it sounds like
The
playing
PayPal note
Tarkov,
says
right?
fuck this
Like,
guy.
it's like playing
it is like
Tarkov, like when you're solo. Like, you either just are okay with just getting your fucking face kicked in all the time and like occasionally getting a good win, or you just are that good. It's gonna be one of those two
yeah,
things.
yeah, and that's it's true. But the weird thing is
Yoo-hoo!
the majority of the player base, the demographic for World of Tanks is 35 and over. Like that is the majority demographic is over 35, and so the
You're
downside of
20,
that is
but you're
most
27 still, right? You're 27. You just look
yeah
haggard and older,
yeah
right?
yeah
Yeah,
wow fuck
that's
you
what
buddy.
well,
Wow.
no, dude,
Wow.
I'm 23. That's what I'm saying. So
You're
I'm 20.
young. You just
I'm,
look like
I'm
shit. It's I
yeah.
get it.
These games age you. I'm 23. I just turned 23 last year. You know, these games just age you like that. That's what I'm saying. So I feel your pain, man.
So like I have played World of Tanks for since
You're gonna get so upset by that. Come on,
2014.
man. Fuck.
Thanks, buddy.
Toughen up, dude.
Love you,
Fuck.
love you too.
Love you more.
hmm But
Mm,
it's like since the majority is older, like a lot of them don't get the mechanics behind the game. Like
right.
World of Tanks actually has like a lot of very complex mechanics that people just don't understand or don't bother to learn. So if you understand them, you constantly get called a hacker for making like the most simple plays. Like you couldn't possibly have known that. Like you're sitting in an obvious fucking bush, dude. Everyone knows you're there. But and it's for the most part like the community is a little toxic, but every once in a while they come together and do something cool, so that kind of keeps me coming back to it. And like there are cool people in the community, and it's fun to watch. So it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. Like normally, if I'm not playing that, I'm playing something single player. Like I just don't play a whole lot of other multiplayer games,
Mm.
just mostly because they're so different.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, we're you're talking about like people that are like in their World War II phase of life. Like you either get into smoking meats or just get real into World War II. It's one of those two things. Like you just have to pick, and you're getting the guys that are playing that are coming in here to become the World War II fanatic, and they're like, yeah, I
Not a
just
fa-
watched it on the History Channel. Fuck
not.
yeah!
It's not a phase, Mom.
It's
It's
not a
never a
there's
phase.
phase.
there's so much disappointment where people when people realize that the Tiger One in the game is absolute dog shit. Like it's bad. Like there is some hard bias, and the Russian, sorry, Belarusian developers did not like
Belarusian.
German tanks,
Yeah.
Let's not
and
piss Russians off right now.
they don't the German tiger tree is not very good, like at all.
Well, it's good to know that they're at least making the Germans lose yet again.
Again, get fucked,
Yet
nerds.
again. Uh,
Nerds.
honestly, like it's so funny to hear like, yeah, the game that I love playing, yeah, or the game that I play all the time is my guilty pleasure game because it's not objectively great in any way, and it kind of pisses everybody off when they play it. Like, yeah, that's Tarkov too. That's like most of the games that like make us sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna get good at this. Fuck these guys.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah,
fuck this game.
hmm
I'm gonna actually beat this. I'm gonna
You
beat the shit out of this game.
you start playing Hearts on Fire, Rocky Four starts going. You're just sweat. Just
Yeah.
oh, mine is
all right.
mine is Doom music. I'll have mine. Like there's literally a point redemption in my channel for Doom music, and so if I'm having a hard match, somebody will turn the Doom music on. Uh, so it's and my goddaughter started playing it like she had it on her Switch, which is a totally different version, but she started playing it on PC. And I warned her mom, like she's gonna get some. She's a kid; she doesn't care how she plays. She's gonna get some after battle messages, and people were sending her just absolutely horrid things to the
Jesus
point where her mom
Christ.
had to get on there and be like, "You're talking to a child. Why are you letting her play this game?" Well,
It's on the
It's a
a video
Switch.
game.
game.
It's a video
It's
game
a
on the
It's a video
Switch.
game.
fucking game.
Yeah.
I love that stigma of it's like why are you letting it play? It's a video game. You're the only one that is basing how your day is going to go off of this fucking game. Nobody else is doing that. Not a lot of
Yeah.
people are doing that. You're the only one. All right, guy, come on.
You're the one.
Gal,
You're the
2022.
one. Oh man. Yeah, that's a good way to put playing some of the games that we love to put ourselves and subject ourselves to, honestly. They do end up being sort of that guilty pleasure. It's like, yeah, I know there's better games. I know there's things that I could play that aren't going to make me just hate myself tonight.
Really like this one. Again, it sounds like dating your third. I really
It's
like this one.
I think another rare example of that was when I played was it the closed beta or was it the open? It was the closed beta for Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And the whole time, like the moment I started up, I was like, "This is bad. Like this is awful." And then so like I played it on stream once, and my friends were like, "Bro, are you gonna get this?" I was like, "No, I'm not. You shouldn't buy this. Nobody should play this. This is horribly monetized and like put together like dog shit." And then like I turned my stream off and I played it for like another 30 hours off stream, just playing through the beta.
Mhm.
At the end, I was like, "All right, that's cool. I can sit it down and never touch it again because it's bad."
Yeah. And I
But I enjoyed the 30 hours.
to that
Yeah.
extent, like I don't think that this game is bad, but the Division definitely has that same like
I was
it's
that was in my list too.
cool, but it's
The
like
fir-
it's
the f-
weirdly not cool. It's like super broy, but then like not really bro. Like it's such a weird like intersection, and like when
the
I'm
first
like
one was great. The
when
first
I'm
one was great. The second one does that though.
so
I didn't play the first one at launch. It wasn't great.
so
I
I
liked
only
it.
played the core of Division 2. I got it for $1.99 the week
That's a
or
good price.
two before they launched the not Gangs of New York. Whatever the New
Warlords.
York expansion was going to be.
Gangs of New York works too.
Yeah. So whatever
Cheers.
that New York
You
expansion
come
was.
here with you come here on this day. Daniel Day Lewis. Hey, if you ever watch this, Danny, you're the man, dude. All right,
Hold on,
you and Leo.
let me take
See,
off
you,
my
you say you say
wig and
Gangs
my
of New York.
beard. I am Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm just
You
that
say
good of an
Gangs of New
actor.
York, and I'm immediately thinking the Warriors.
You're thinking the Warriors,
That
and
the
he's
original
thinking,
gangs. Yeah.
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 But yeah,
Another
so
one.
like
The
the
original.
Division's one of those games that like I very much have that same feeling towards. It's like, yeah, it's not something I'm like terribly invested in, but like just running around in DC and like just going down the streets and like seeing what kind of crap I can get into. I think it's open world with like emergent gameplay. That's the stuff that I'm like most interested in. So like when it has that sort of feel, that's the stuff that I'm like, oh, it might not be exceptionally good. Like Division 2 is just it's okay, right? It's bullet spongy and it's not really like tactically. You're not really thinking a whole lot of tactics. You're like, how much crap can I put down range at one time? It's like Alpha Strike and you're done. But then I just found myself getting stuck in like all the time. I was like, yeah, I just want to like roam around and do like nonsense. Like that's all I want to do. And it kind of goes back to like the GTA 3 days.
Uh,
You know, like I didn't play that game to play the game. I played it to do the nonsense. I played it to do as much mayhem and chaos as I could. And that was it. I didn't care about the story. I didn't play it for the story. So there's definitely something to be said for that too.
Kind of what I like to call the bro shooter sandbox.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
The second I could get like what who was the main 511 tactical pants in that game? Was it 511 I think it was?
Yeah, 511 was a huge fucking backer of
Just
that game.
major sponsor of that game. Like that's when I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. We're getting some
I
big boy
see what
money on the
that.
back
I
end."
see what's happening here.
We're LARPing.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
hold on, let me put on my flannel t-shirt. Yep, my flannel shirt. Yep, okay, cool. All right, now I'm good. All right.
What's wrong with flannel?
Uh, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
It's comfy. All right, it feels good under a fucking carrier. All right,
It
Jesus.
feels nice on my skin.
That's so yeah, when I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I see what's happening here. It's like, all right, well maybe I can take a break. No, I just kept playing for like 3 more world tiers in that game. I just kept playing. I just found more and more crap to go after, and they had just enough of the collectibles and stuff in that one too, and that was sort of like what kept me going. So very much understand that like, hey, it's a little sandbox bro shooty. Okay, yeah, let's
You
keep
hit
going.
that on the head. Definitely the bro shooter for sure.
Yeah. So those
Well, it's like,
catch
I
your
remember when they finally released the first raid in Division 2, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's like a hard DPM check. So if you've been grinding this game nonstop for the last 2 months, you're in a good spot." It's like, who the fuck plays this game for 2 months straight? I can't play it for 3 days straight.
I did. I did. I played it for like straight 2 months, and it was just the
It,
core game.
it's me.
They
I'm
had
bitches.
There's just nothing to do.
they had
You just
already
like
released the fucking.
I played one, and they had the one spot was the event center in Division 1 that you had to run over and over because every piece of legendary gear dropped there. And so
Oh,
you would literally just run that event center like, and if you got good, you could run it in like 5-10 minutes. And so you get like a group and you just run that for like 6 hours straight, and you just get oodles of gear to sift through to see if it rolled right. And that was it. That was like at the end,
oof.
that was the whole gameplay loop if you were trying to get new gear
Yeah.
because you were trying to gear up to go into the raid, but if you went into the raid without the gear you needed, you just got schwacked. So you had to run the event center over and over to get the gear you needed because it was the
Jesus.
shortest, most reliable run.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely horrid. But with
Nobody
that,
did.
I think for now, I think we can realistically say that we all have that just garbage ass game that we love in our heart of hearts that is going to continue to bring us back day after day, and maybe not even bring us back, but one that we wish would come back. In my case, like I kind of do wish that Anthem would make a comeback in some way, but I know that that's not going to happen. But I'm glad that at least my friends get to play their guilty pleasure games every day that they want to play them. Um,
The
chat,
homies. It's for the homies.
I want to thank you all for coming out tonight. I want to thank the new follow, Staff Sergeant Mistinky, again, one more time. I thank you to Buck Chase and Earthy for coming out and chatting. Thanks to Pessmerger for dropping by. I know that he couldn't make it tonight to talk shit about his games tonight, but maybe next time. Maybe next time we can do it. For all of you that caught the trivia game last time around, we will be doing that again soon. I have all of my wonderful trivia cards somewhere, not on my desk right now, but they are here and they are waiting for the team to come back together so I can put them through the rigmarole once again. So I hope that you guys will all
Absolutely.
join us for the next time out. We are going to say goodbye to Stevie right now. Stevie, where can people find you in the next 5 minutes or so?
So actually, you find me in the next 5 minutes. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Stevie_V_. I will be over there, and we are doing something a little different. Dying Light 2 just came out, yes, but one of our good buddies has not played the first one yet. So we're gonna play through that first. We're gonna do the first one. We're gonna give Dying Light 2 some time to play through, let its bugs run out, and then once we finish with the first Dying Light, we will jump into Dying Light 2. And that's gonna be a good time. So that's what's on the docket tonight for us over there, at the frat house, as we call it. So you guys come over there and hang out and see what we're up to. It's gonna be a good time. It's going to be well, I was going to say a lot less sweaty, but Dying Light definitely has its moments where the sweat picks up. So we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be hanging out there. So come hang out and let's have a good time. We call it the pre-Friday streams. So come on, let's do the damn thing.
Pre-Friday streams. While he is dropping off to go start his stream, we will be rating him in a moment.
I'll
Jimmy,
see you guys
where
there.
can people find you at out in the world?
You can find us over on the wonderful channel that is Jimmy and Nubs. So we stream kind of irregularly right now. Most days we're trying to do like, I think we're trying to do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday or Saturday, Sunday, but not Fridays. But it's been kind of a mess right now. We're going through a little bit of Nubs is going through some different events that she's got going on in her life, so she's not able to stream as regularly. But at a minimum, you can find me on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays.
Nice. And
You know,
what are you guys? You guys are still playing? I thought I saw Horizon Zero Dawn or
sh- she was playing Horizon the other night,
nice. And you guys,
and then
have you finished up your God of War run?
no, did I start? I did
Did you
start
start
another
a God
God
of
of War
War?
run.
I thought you did.
I think we both did, but I think we kind of got put on hold because we were having audio issues with her computer. So
Mm,
that was my goal last weekend. Was I've cleaned all. I actually put the 3090 back in her rig so she doesn't have any more issues, and I got all
nice.
the audio issues worked out.
Well, sweet. Definitely, everybody should go over and give Jimmy and Nubs a like, a follow, and a sub if you are feeling a little fresh tonight. Um, I will be continuing the This Week in Gaming, or whatever the hell I end up calling it in the future. We still haven't done the rebrand because I haven't had a whole lot of time to do it. But we will also be doing the trivia night probably sometime this weekend or early next week. Or worst comes to worst, we will do the trivia night again next Thursday. I want to thank everybody for coming out yet again. Stevie, have you gone live?
Oh yeah, I am.
Okay.
You can call it last week in gaming
Last week in gaming. Boom. I'll check it out. We'll see. We'll see
or
what's out there.
last week tonight in gaming.
Last week
Straight up,
tonight in
Wasn't it
gaming.
the John Oliver show?
completely rip off John Oliver. Yeah,
Just
There
rip
it
him
is.
off. I
yeah,
mean,
but it's
he would
not.
probably
But it's not
appreciate it.
in
Cultured,
gaming.
cultured,
Yeah.
cultured,
John Oliver does not
cultured.
strike me as a
Exactly.
gamer. I think we're all right.
Yeah, I think it'd be all
Don't,
right.
don't judge a book by its cover, man.
Don't
Nobody
judge a
thought.
gamer by his odor.
Nobody thought Jeffrey Dahmer
Wait,
ate people.
no,
You know,
definitely
surprise.
judge people
Yeah,
by
judge
their
'em.
odor.
Yeah,
Don't-
judge 'em by their odor. 100% do that.
Yeah,
'cause-
don't.
You know, Stevie, when I walk into a room, the first thing I do is look at somebody and be like, I wonder if he eats people.
I mean, you know what? You don't.
You
I'm not
don't.
trying to get eaten.
All right.
I live an awesome life, man. I don't want to
Eat
get eaten.
first.
But I mean, if you do think that person eats people, how will that stop them from eating you?
Mm, mm.
If you eat them first, like Aaron said.
Yeah, you eat them first. That's what you do.
Are you brand new around here, man?
Yeah. That's,
It's
I
a
don't
DDD
understand.
world.
Come on. Come on. Come on now.
I'm gonna be a
Come on.
much better warlord than you. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Only defensive cannibalism around here. Copyright
With
it.
that, I
Yeah.
want to say thank you yet again to Jimmy and Stevie. Thank you everybody out there, and make sure that you stick around because we are going to go ahead and give Stevie the old radio rooter, and you go over there and check out Dying Light 1. Get the old playthrough. Until next time, I'm your host Aaron Provost, and I'm saying thank you yet again. Good luck. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Aaron, Jimmy James, love you guys. I appreciate you.
Jimmy
I'll check you out
Jabs.
sometime. I'm out, boys.
Later, bud.